Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the channel, Shelly's Millions. Okay, for the last few weeks, I've been saying that I wanted to try and look at booking a trip with credit card points only. So, depending on what your situation is, would affect whether I would recommend using a credit card or not using a credit card. For me, I pay off my balances in full every single month. So I'm going to try and get the most bang for my buck out of them. So I might as well try and show you guys how to do that too. My best friend is not in at all. What just happened? My best friend is not at all into like credit card lifestyle. They filed bankruptcy, they had really bad credit, and just now they're almost 50, 49. They are just now getting into credit cards and they're loving like when they get the cash back and things like that. Oh, Sean, dang it. Happy birthday, Sean. Happy Easter, everyone. Good to see you. I hope you're enjoying the day. It's nice weather outside. For those of you that are familiar with the channel, my mom and I were going to go play bingo last week, and we drove all the way out there and it was closed. So we're going to try again today, even though it's weird that they would be closed last week but open today, but that's what they said. Anyway, so I actually want to like look at booking a trip using just credit card points from start to finish. I've already booked my trip to Ireland, and I don't want to, oh, look, Joy and Joey is also saying, happy birthday to you, Sean. So, yeah, and I figured like my dress is it looks a little like it's pastel, it looks a little Eastery. Anyway, um, I have booked an upcoming trip to Ireland, and I didn't use points for that. It is really I wanna say it's complicated to redeem points for the trips because you guys know, hi, J Motion. Okay, I haven't seen you comment in the channel before, so I'm going to, uh, do my best to answer that, and the question is, "Hi, Shelly, I was wondering if there's going to be a Doge refund check." I haven't heard anything about that in the longest time. I know that when they first created the Department of Government Efficiency, that they were saying that all the money that they were gonna find, that they would potentially give that back as a check to the US citizens. I have not heard mention of that in a very, very long time. And as always with these things, right, I think that they talk about giving, like, things like Doge refund checks as a like, they wanna get everybody, like, excited. They wanna ride those news headlines as well, just like YouTubers make videos about it, being like, "When's the next Doge check coming? The Trump stimulus checks," you know? Like, and it's just kind of you're welcome. I really, you guys really dictate what we talk about in the chat. So, while I have one thing planned, we can divert. I just wanna say that if they do the Doge checks, right? It's not gonna be a decision that happens quick and easy. They are going to go back and forth about it because even if Trump decides that he wants it, he's still not the be all end all. It's still gonna need to pass, like, um, both the House and the Senate, right? Both branches of Congress, and then he would approve it. Then they would have to figure out how they're going to issue it. Then they're gonna have to figure out, like, what the criteria is for issuing it, like, if there were, wage maximums or, if you're a two-person household, like, if you're a married couple, if you're a married couple with kids. So, that will take a little time to figure out as well. That won't be instant. Now, the infrastructure is already in place to get that system going pretty quickly since they did the stimulus checks in the past, during the pandemic. So, like, they should be able to just model it after that, but it's like, will that be how they choose to do it if they do it? Um, and, I don't know if they've really saved that much money. We are gonna talk about this for just a second, right? It's like just the because 'cause I've seen them cut a lot of jobs. Okay, that's what I'm seeing in my news feed is that he's eliminating all these jobs. I read a story about how someone was let go, their position was eliminated. I wanna say it was like 2 weeks before they hit their 20th year with the government, so they would have received, like, a full pension, and, I wish I had a job with a pension. I think that, I think it's a wonderful idea, but I don't know how practical it is anymore. So, um, like, but it's sad. It's sad because the woman who knew that she had a job with a pension, she was on track to hit that mark, and, like, even now, I'm 47, I'll be 48 this year. I am starting to plan how I'm going to use my money in retirement and how long it will last, right? Like, and that's what I hope this channel does more than anything is take your money that you have and plan how to use it, right? I'm going to segue for just 1 second. Share my referral link. Okay. No, not that. Okay. I am doing something. Sorry, I'm going to go back to the train of thought about Doge in just 1 second, but I'm going to share something with you guys because I just found out this thing and it's cool. So, and it's a way to like, it's a thing. It's a thing where you like just take pictures of receipts and you can earn gift cards. So I just put my referral link there in the chat. It's called Fetch and it's really cool. What's cool about Fetch is that like I already have apps like Ibotta. I have the Too Good to Go. I've never gotten anything from it. But what's cool about Fetch is that you don't have to like go through and pick everything that you're going to buy in advance. So you're not spending lots of time like adding things to your cart. You can, but you don't have to. You can also just snap a picture of your receipt after you've done your regular shopping and you still get points for that. So that's why I'm liking Fetch. And you can get things like gift cards to Amazon with your points. So it's just kind of like a nifty extra way. And you can get anything from Amazon. Like, so you can redeem it for things like toilet paper or like necessities. So anyway, let me pin that comment really quick. Oops, that's Joy and Joy says my daughter uses that. I tried it, but I don't know how to use it when buying groceries online. Yeah, so if you buy it, okay, let me show you really quick. Let me show you. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, you guys don't have to use my referral link. You guys can use if you have family that are already using this. Okay, so here's the app, right? And we're going to go to Fetch. That's my little QR code or my little, you can use 3FUR G9, 3FUR G9. If you just go and you don't follow the link, that's fine. Or if anybody's doing it, you can do that QR code right now. Okay, so I promise we're going to get back to Doge and the jobs in just 1 second. But okay, so I'm in the app. I'm going to go back. On this button here, at the bottom, right? Then you click the e-receipts. And this, it should bring you up to like stores that you would potentially have an e-receipt for. So are you doing your online grocery shopping from Amazon? Or are you doing it from Instacart? Those are the two main ones. You have to link your accounts. Now, I will say that I have a family plan for Instacart. I go grocery shopping live, but I have a family plan for Instacart. Hi, Livon, good to see you. And I don't seem to be getting my Instacart points. So I need to look into that. But every time after I linked my Amazon, Walmart, let me see. You linked it and it still didn't work. I'm gonna try and research that because, like, I'm liking it. So as you can see, like, so far I've got 6,196 points, and that's enough for, like, a $5 gift card. So that's cool, and I just started using it, like, a week ago. So, anyway, I'm all about Fetch right now. I'm gonna look up the linking. I'll figure out why it's not working with my Instacart and why it didn't work with your, Walmart. JMotion, you had, an account 2 years ago, but you broke your old phone. You should be able to just download the app again, and it should hold your data, but if not, try using my referral code, or a friend or family's referral code and do that. Yeah, because it is cool, and if you and it so far, it seems to be like any store. Something else that's cool about the Fetch app, yeah, you're not supposed to find receipts and use it, but in theory, you could. Um I mean, don't break the terms and conditions, but, I went to, like, El Pollo Loco the other day and took a picture of that receipt, and there's a Trader Joe's below my job, so I go to Trader Joe's a lot, and normally Trader Joe's doesn't, like, give you any points at all for the other programs, like Ibotta, Shopkick is another one I use. Um, there's almost never anything from Trader Joe's because Trader Joe's just is branded just with their own products, but I get 25 points just for snapping that picture. So, like, every day when I'm getting lunch, I'm getting 25 points. So that's cool in and of itself is that it'll work with a store like Trader Joe's. So I think it works like at any store. I think you could take a picture of like a post office receipt or something. I'll test out the Post-it theory too. Anyway, yeah, I'll look at how to link the Walmart and Instacart because it's gotta just be something simple. But, yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys because 'cause I'm earning a gift card, and I think that's cool, especially because things are so expensive. Okay, so back to Doge. I think that Doge is yeah, they do allow you to do digital receipts. I haven't quite figured that out. Like, it's not linking to my email right. So there's some linking issues with it. It's not perfect, but I am really enjoying it. Happy Easter, happy Sunday to those of you that are watching. There's 13 of you. Please take a moment and hit the like button. It would mean a lot to me. Okay. So, with Doge, what I know is that they cut a lot of jobs. I don't know that that's what's, you know, in my headline, and that somebody that was expecting to get a pension and was planning their future based on a certain amount of money now is going to be getting like $3,000 a month less. Like, that's a lot less, right? Um, and I think that that's really sad, you know? On the one hand, I think people are really, really lucky if they have pensions. I don't think most of us are that lucky. I don't think, most of us aren't getting a pension. Most of us are not getting our salary until we die. But this person bought a house, they planned out their bills, they planned out their budget based on that, and then to like be let go, even if it was 2 months before they hit their 20 year, that's still really sad because like right now I don't plan on finding another job, not really. Sometimes I think about it, but I've worked for the same company more or less for 30 years straight. I'm not going anywhere. So, the hope is that I'm able to retire from this company, that I don't have to look for another job. And there's not even a pension with my job, but that's the plan, right? That's the plan. I'm not like, I would love if YouTube worked, but I would probably still keep my regular job. Oh, well, JMotion, that's okay. I appreciate you trying. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not sure what's going on with that either, but I appreciate you trying to like it. So, um, they they cut this job like a really short period of time before this woman was able to plan, and she was gonna retire. And that's not great. I think it really sucks. I'm sure that happens sometimes without Doge getting involved, but it's my understanding they're cutting all these jobs. And as someone who manages a company and while I manage a location, I don't manage the whole company. I've come in the location I'm at now, the entire management team left. And then a new management team came in because it's just because you let everybody go and maybe they're really high earners, right? Maybe some of it was on purpose so that they wouldn't have to pay out the crazy pension, right? That's possible. But what is happening to the industry? What's happening to the actual business where these people were working and got let go from? Because somebody still has to do the job. In some ways, if you really, really want to overhaul something, part of me thinks that it is a good idea to just start fresh, to make it more efficient, to just out with the old policies, figure out how to do it better, right? And come in and do it better. But I also think, and I think that I read that this woman that got let go right before she was going to hit her 20-year anniversary, I think I read that she's consulting because even though I could see why a business would think, "Hey, it's a good idea to just let go of everybody and start from the ground up, make new policies, make it more efficient." What do you do while you're figuring out how to make it more efficient, right? Like, people still need the services that they were getting before, right? Like, I'm thinking about, one of the big ones that I've seen in the headlines is cutting, like, phone workers at the Social Security office. But people on the other end are still gonna have questions about their Social Security. So, how do you reconcile that? And people are complaining about the wait times to get a hold of somebody at the Social Security office. So, you still need people to answer the phones. You still need labor, even if maybe you don't need a supervisor just to make sure that all the people are answering the phone or something, like, so part of me understands why somebody would think, "Oh, let's start from fresh. Let's start from scratch. Let's let everybody go and we'll build back how we want it," right? I could see why that would look attractive to a business. But on the flip side of that coin, what happens when nobody knows how to do the job, right? Somebody needs to know, like, what the answer is. AI will answer most of the questions. It might. But I think, especially people that are currently retirement age, like, even me, I wanna speak to a live person. I don't wanna speak to the chat bot. It's so annoying. It used to say, like, "Press O for operator," or "Say operator." Now, if you call, it doesn't normally say sometimes you have to ask for operator, sometimes you ask customer service, account representative. Like, the word you're saying to get through to a live person has changed, and I hate going through that. Most people just wanna talk to a live person. They do, and I get that. I wanna talk to a live person, because you know why? I can Google. So, my mom can Google, but, like, if you have a specific question about your specific account, you're gonna wanna talk to a person. You're not gonna want the general answer. You're gonna want the answer that's specific to your case, and there may be details that fall outside the norm, right? So, people don't wanna speak to AI, they wanna speak to a live person. And I do worry about, even for a job like mine, I am in management, but it's hard switching from one industry to a next. Like, they might be similar, you might be making a schedule, you might be performance managing, you might be hiring, you might be firing, but jobs are always like, maybe you're using a different program to do the scheduling, maybe you're using a different program to do um, the payroll or the performance management. Maybe when you hire, the new company wants you to ask a certain set of questions on a very specific document. And those are things that you don't always know right away. You know, I can interview for the place I work till I'm blue in the face because I've been doing it so long. But at a new company, maybe the questions that I'm used to asking are not, a question that they would want me to ask. PS, you guys, my favorite question, this is totally off track. My favorite question to ask during an interview is, "Tell me about a time you prevented a problem from becoming a problem before it was actually a problem." I didn't word that right here because I'm not actually interviewing, but, like, this is so long ago, but once I was an extra on a film set, And I noticed that the way I have a light up here, that's why I'm pointing up here. The way that the light was pointed, it somehow was like shining up against like a wood surface, and the light on those studio sets are so hot, it literally, like, when you hold a magnifying glass over a piece of wood and it starts to burn and smoke, that was happening to that wood. So I noticed a problem. I found somebody and I reported. I was like, "Hey, that light's about to catch that piece of wood on fire. Maybe you want to move it." And so they did. So I noticed, I was observant. I would notice, hey, this is happening. You might want to change that. So that's the kind of answer that we're looking for. I think somebody once answered that question. They worked on a film production set or something, and the place that they were going to use ended up having like work done on the property, and it wasn't gonna look how they needed it to look, and so they found, they realized once that section of the property was under construction that it was no longer going to work for where they were filming, and so they, found, like, a comparable building to use, or they might have said that they hired, like, a set director, and they recreated the look that they needed, like, in a studio design warehouse kinda thing, a fake set, basically. Um, so the answers that people give to that, I just think they're really cool. You get some really cool answers sometimes to that question. And it's supposed to show, are people, observant at work? Are they noticing things that could potentially cause issues, and are they solving them, before they actually become an issue? Anyway, okay. So my point, going back to Doge, is that I think that maybe they shouldn't have fired everybody. Maybe they need to keep some people be to like, and maybe a lot of times at a business, even if you want to redesign something, maybe there's reasons why that is not the best option for that business. So if you keep some people on from the business instead of totally starting from the ground up, you're gonna have some people that can get the job done. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like maybe they shouldn't have fired everybody, and I feel like sometimes that retraining people to do the job correctly, or even if they weren't doing it correctly, and retraining an entire team, that takes time and it takes money. Even experimenting with AI, right? If the jobs go to AI, somebody has to, like, monitor, is that working correctly? Is AI giving out the correct answers? Like, are people satisfied with the answers? Is it actually, like, what people need? So, guess what is up with my hair today? Anyway, um, so yeah. Hi, Rocky, good to see you. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Doge. I think they're gonna end up ultimately spend a lot of money on retraining people. I don't think AI can, it's not gonna be able to mail a letter to somebody, like I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't necessarily think that that's the answer. I do think that that's where it's going. Oh yeah, I was talking about if my industry somehow doesn't take me to retirement, and the industry is being similar, and I hope I could find a job. But when I was kind of like testing the waters and looking other places, what I noticed was I have a lot of what's called soft skills, and that's not necessarily what businesses are looking for. Like, I'm good at customer service, and I'm good at talking to people, and I'm good at training and explaining things. But you know what? So is every other candidate probably that they're looking at to hire. So they want numbers. Like, I successfully trained like this many employees, and by training them, it improved employee retention by this much, or by training them how to like upsell at the concession stand, it improved the concession sales by this percentage. And it's not always that cut and dry, right? When you're looking at like the actual specifics, especially in a movie theater, because like a lot of it's dependent on the movies we're playing. Happy Easter to you as well, Rocky. Speaking of movies, you guys, my regular job is I manage a movie theater. So let's look at where to Let's look at the movie grosses. The numbers. So this week, Debbie, if you're watching, oh my goodness. Box office. Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness, I touched the wrong thing. If you are if Debbie's watching. Oh, yeah. So the big question, I gave away the spoiler here. The big question is, did Sinners beat out Minecraft? And it looks like it did. So Sinners is a movie with Michael B. Jordan and is about vampires, and I would like to see it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna. And it looks like it did beat a Minecraft movie for the first time. Let's get the full weekend chart. By almost $4.2 million, it looks like. So that's cool. All right. Sinners, Warner Brothers. It grossed 45,600,000. Minecraft movie in its third week did 41,300,000, which is nothing to sneeze at. The King of Kings, 17,000. The Amateur, 17 million. The Amateur, 7.2 million. Warfare, 4.8 million. Drop, 3.3 million. What? Colorful Stage, the movie. A Miku Who Can't Sing. I don't know what that is. 2.7 million. Pride and Prejudice, 2.7 million. The Chosen, Last Supper, Part 3, 1.6. And then the number 10 movie is Disney's Snow White with 1.1 million. Okay. So those are movie grosses this week. Vampires are my favorite. So in the trailer, for some reason, it doesn't show that they're vampires as much. Okay, you guys, I really want to look for a bargain flight. Okay, so step one, I'm gonna take you through. I want to try and find a flight just on points. Hopefully, like not a lot of flight and not a lot of points on my credit card. I don't want to pay money for this flight. So, I think, where do I want to start? Okay, first, somebody told me to type in Sweet Spot, Virgin Atlantic. Let's see what best uses for Virgin Atlantic Flying Club. Just let's see what this article says. Okay, interesting. Okay, if you're unfamiliar with Virgin Atlantic Flying Club, you might want to. Oh, wait, no, I don't want. If you're unfamiliar with Virgin Atlantic Flying Club, you might want to familiarize yourself. Virgin points can unlock a bounty of value, sometimes rivaling other partner frequent flyer programs. If aspirational redemptions on ANA, that's an airline, comfy rides across the Pacific on Hawaiian or Air New Zealand, or cheap domestic Delta awards align with your travel goals, look no further than the Flying Club. Here's a dive into several prominent sweet spots bookable through Atlantic Flying Club. So apparently, like a sweet spot is like a really good deal, right? So I want to go to New Zealand on points. So that's why I got excited when it said on Air New Zealand. So let's see how many points you can do these things for. And then you're hoping to also get like points transfer bonuses. So as I was learning about points on credit cards and redeeming them, I've definitely changed my credit card points strategy throughout the years, right? I used to just redeem it for purchases. And everybody's like, "Oh, well, you're not getting the best, you know, return on your money doing that." And I thought, "Well, what do I care?" Because I don't use credit to buy things that I wasn't going to buy anyway. So it's not like I'm opening credit cards just to get the points and buying things that I don't need just to get points because that wouldn't work, right? Or that doesn't work for me at least. That's not I don't wanna use credit cards like that. But am I gonna put toilet paper on a card that gets points so that I can get those points? Yeah, I'm gonna buy toilet paper anyway, so let me put that on my credit card, and then let me open up Fetch Rewards and also and get the points that way too. So I'm gonna try and maximize, and I have some cards that earn more points on groceries, and I have some points that earn more on restaurants. So am I gonna try and make sure that I'm spending on the right credit card? For me personally, absolutely yes. Um, so I just used to think though, like, oh, well, I'm just gonna redeem it for my purchases. But as I'm learning more about it, I'm paying more attention to better ways to redeem points, and I want to travel. I wanna travel a nice flight, but I don't wanna spend a lot of money to do it. So, if you redeem your points for purchases, generally, it comes out to be about point 0.8 cents, like, not even a whole cent per point on your card, but and I'm nervous to even share this, but I'm gonna share it. Let me take this off screen for just a second. So I'm going to Ireland, and these are the steps that I did. I did not book my original flight with just points because I'm flying on Aer Lingus, and on Aer Lingus, well, you can't book I'm flying business class because, guys, it's a long flight and I'm heavy. I don't wanna fly on, like, a really narrow seat for that long, right? I wanna be comfortable on the flight. I don't wanna arrive, like, with my body in pain and stuff like that. So, I wanted business class, but my budget cannot afford business class. And Aer Lingus does not seem to some companies, you can get an entire rewards flight in business class, but with Aer Lingus, you can't. But what you can do is you can get your ticket in economy, and it's not guaranteed though, right? And then if you have enough points, and it was 46,000 points, one way to get business class, but you put in an offer to pay with your points to upgrade to business class. So in cash, I paid for the economy ticket, and then you email Aer Lingus and here's what I said exactly, and this is true. I said, "Hi, here's my flight number. I have enough points." Aer Lingus uses points called Avios. I have enough points in my Avios account to pay for the upgrade of 46,000 points. Um, would you please be able to upgrade me? This will be my first time in Ireland, and it's my first time using points for an upgrade, and it's my first time flying your airline. What those are all true statements. I've never like I said before, I used to be happy redeeming my points for the point 0.8 cents or whatever. Um, so I'm nervous to even say this because I feel like Aer Lingus, like, made a mistake. So you know how I just said it was 46,500 points? That's how much it's supposed to be for 1 ticket. But my friend that I'm going with, their ticket got upgraded too, and it only took out the 46,500 points. So, that flight would have been a whole lot of money in business class if I would have paid with cash. So, I'm getting about 6 cents because they upgraded both tickets to business class, not first class. Business class, I still even in points, I can't afford to fly first class, but business class, they upgraded both tickets just because he was marked as in my party. He got upgraded too. So, I'm still waiting for them to, like, deduct more points or to tell me that they didn't mean to upgrade both tickets, like, because I feel like that's too good to be true. But as long as that stays the case, then that means that I got about 6.6 cents per point in value on that upgraded flight. So, that's a good deal. That's way better than point 0.8 cents, right? That's not even worth a cent per point. And Okay, so here were the steps that I did right after watching a lot of YouTube tutorials. I figured out what airline I wanted to fly on. I figured out how to upgrade their points. Like I realized if you you could book a flight with Aer Lingus on economy with points, but if you do that, then you're not able to also upgrade on points. So I did it the flip way that said it was eligible, where I paid in cash for the economy seats on my credit card so that I would get points. So I paid on a credit card for the economy seats and then offered to upgrade, and that's what worked. I also think I'm really lucky because apparently you don't normally find out if you're gonna get upgraded or not until, like, a week before your flight, maybe 2 weeks, but my flight's not until October, and they already upgraded me, and I hope it's because well, I don't really care why it is, but I think it might be because of how nice I was in the email and me saying that it was my first time on the airline, my first time to Ireland, and my first time redeeming points. Um, I think like the airline was like, "Hey, this is somebody who would really appreciate it. She's never flown our airline. She's never redeemed points. Like let's make her first experience with us really great." Like I think it's maybe, kill 'em with kindness. I think that's maybe why they upgraded it so early. But it was really cool to find out that it was successfully upgraded. I also okay, so I figured out on their airline how to do that upgrade because again, if I would have initially booked economy with points, there would have been no chance of the nicer seat. But they did have some flights available in economy with just points. But then, guys, there was a lot of, like, hoops to jump through to get my points over to Aer Lingus. So, what I first did is I found so again, I mentioned earlier that I used Avios, which is the type of points so, with my Amex card. So, I had Amex points, but in the travel portal, they're not worth that much. So then I looked to see if any of the Avios airlines had what they call a transfer bonus. And some of the airlines that use Avios are Qatar Airlines and British Airways, and then also Aer Lingus. So, British Airways did not have a points transfer bonus, but Qatar did. Um, and you cannot transfer your points directly from Qatar to Aer Lingus. So first, I found the transfer bonus on Qatar, and I transferred my Amex points to Qatar. Then, I gotta make sure I put down the right finger here so I'm not left just holding up the middle finger. So after I transferred my American Express points to Qatar so that those got a 20% bonus. Then I had to transfer my points from Qatar to British Airways. And I realized that I had input my date of birth wrong, and all your information has to match, like pretty exact. So I had to like call Qatar and be like, hey, because in other countries they do date and then month. So I had just put it backwards. So from Qatar, I had to transfer it to British Airways and I had to fix my birth date on one of those. And I was so nervous that I had transferred the points and that it wasn't going to work, but it did. And then once the Avios were in British Airways, then I was able to transfer those over to Aer Lingus. And once they were on the Aer Lingus site, then I was able to email Aer Lingus and say, hey, you have to have enough points before you request the upgrade. So I made sure, and here's the other weird thing. I had enough points in there for me and my friend, and they just like they didn't take they both of our seats are upgraded, but they didn't take out the points for his. I really think they made a mistake. So I love them for that. Um, but yeah, I would though. So okay, so I guess I've already booked an upgraded flight, but I want to go to New Zealand and I just want to use points. So I think the way I've read to do this is through Virgin Atlantic. But I thought like if I struggled and I had to jump through that many hoops just to get the upgraded flight on Aer Lingus, I figured that some of you guys might not know how to do that. And oops, I'm gonna say just one more time before we switch over, that if you have a credit card that earns points and you are redeeming it for charges, right? Because I think I did that for a long time because I valued having more money in my pocket more than travel, right? I'm very cognizant and very fortunate that I am at a point where I can travel, that I don't need to use those points back towards purchases. But in the past, I did. Like, that was how to make my money stretch further, that was how to make the money last longer. So, in the past, I definitely, um, redeemed it towards points or towards charges, and I think while you're not getting the most bang for your points, your bang for your buck, bang for your points, I think that's okay as providing that you're depending on what your goal is, right? My goal right now is to try and get a free trip to New Zealand. Like, because it's all just extra money, but because again, I'm not buying anything that I wasn't planning on getting anyway. I am using my credit card for everything though, except gas. And if you want to know, I know Joy and Joey knows because they asked last week, but if you want to know I don't use credit cards for gas, let me know in the chat. But I'm using it for toilet paper. I'm using it for groceries. I'm using it for if I get my hair done. I'm using it. I offer to pay if my mom and I go even through the drive-through. Oh, well, it's just a $7 purchase. Nope, it's going on the credit card and I'm going to earn the points for it. And then so just things that I'm gonna buy anyway, but everything I do put on a credit card so that I'm earning the points so that I can hopefully get this free trip. But again, as long as you're just buying what you need, it's basically free money. So even if you're not getting the most bang for your buck, who cares? If it's making your actual dollars stretch further and that's the goal of the credit card, that's okay as well. Just please, please, if you guys are doing this with credit cards like I am, make sure to pay off your balance because you don't want to be paying interest on this because then you'd be losing money. So I wouldn't recommend any of this unless you're able to pay off your balance in full. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Gotta add it back to the stage. You guys are quiet over there. Oh, let's ask, did you guys dye eggs for Easter? Did your family dye eggs for Easter? Or were eggs too expensive this year? PS, another money-saving tip for you guys. Uh, Eggs that I found are cheapest at Trader Joe's. It's $4.99 for a dozen, but that beats out like the $7.99 at somewhere like Amazon. Okay, that's the cheapest I've found. Let me know if here in the state of California, if anybody has received a better deal than $4.99. I know, Steve, you are so lucky. You buy from the Amish, and that is cash and check. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, if you're supporting your local farmers market, that's definitely like the way to go is cash. Okay, so back to trips on points. Okay, so it's saying that you can book a Virgin Atlantic upper class to Europe for as little as 29,000 points, which is a pretty good price. They rolled out dynamic pricing. I don't quite know what that means, but I'm going to read on. Hopefully it tells me, but only for flights it operates. Normally, this pricing model is bad news for travelers since it generally means higher prices, but the move resulted in a new sweet spot, which we couldn't be happier to see. On flights in upper class, Virgin Atlantic's name for its business class, you'll pay as few as 29,000 points to fly between the US and Europe. Better yet, the dynamically priced taxes and fees can also be very reasonable. Prices can fly much higher, as is the case with dynamic pricing, but flying from Atlanta to London in a lie flat seat for 29,000 points plus $250 is an incredible deal. Yes, it is. Pricing is generally much lower if you originate in the East Coast. Ugh, but I wouldn't. Paying over 50,000 is generally much lower if you on the East Coast, and I don't. Paying over 50,000 points plus taxes and fees to fly from the West Coast just isn't as good as a deal. Okay, so they talk about positioning flights a lot. So I am on the West Coast, which might mean I might not get the best deals. So a positioning flight is a flight where I would just fly just to go to the East Coast to then get a better deal, but I can't imagine doing that. And again, I'm big, so I don't wanna spend any time I don't wanna spend any time doing that. Okay. Um, but a positioning flight is like where you go to a different airport than your home airport just so that you can get these points bonuses. I don't think I wanna do that. I would wanna travel, um ooh, do I wanna join a group, you guys? I might. I might wanna join Award Travel 101. Okay, Virgin Atlantic okay, so fly ANA first or business class using Virgin points. ANA is a airline that goes to Japan mostly. I've read that that's a really nice flight. As you can see, ANA first class Japan in the US cost 145,000 or 170,000 flying club miles round trip depending on the route. West Coast routes are cheaper. Yes. Again, this requires that saver space is available. I had never I don't know why. I love beachy towns. I love the water and tropical environments, and that's why I like New Zealand. Um, so I had never really considered Japan much, but now I'm starting to get the Japan bug. I think it's just that, like, so many of my friends have gone to Japan and they've really loved it, and I think for me, there is nowhere in the world that I wouldn't want to see. And just for context, the, couple of the places that I've gone, I went to India. A boy I was dating back in 2011 paid for that trip. That was my first, like, true international trip, but I loved India. I got Delhi belly, they call it. Um, it's where you're sick out of both sides. It was not great, but I still had a great time on that trip. And I would go again, and the people were lovely, and it was just really nice seeing a different culture. And then another place that I think is a little bit uncommon is Egypt. So I've been to both of those places, and I just had, like, a really wonderful time. So I don't think that there's anywhere where I wouldn't go. Like, as long as it's safe, I would absolutely go, um, visit any country. I find it really interesting. Okay. Steve says the Amish have brown eggs, but they have white organic valley eggs for $3 a dozen. You use them for Easter eggs and then made deviled eggs. Oh, we should make deviled eggs. Mom, I don't know if you're watching my stream today, but ooh, we should have make some deviled eggs while we got we got 12 more minutes that I'm gonna be live. So make some deviled eggs. Okay. So anyway, like I would consider going to Japan, especially on points. And first class, like, that doesn't look like it's very much more money to go or more points because we don't wanna spend any money. But we're looking at potentially like, on this one from Japan ooh, I could take it from Japan to Australia for 145,000 points. Like, that doesn't seem very expensive. Okay. And it says that on ANA Airlines, which is supposed to be really nice, business class award space is much easier to find and can be an even better deal with awards costing just 105 to 120,000 round trip or 75,000 if you fly to and from Hawaii. Boy, it would be cool to just like travel and travel and travel and travel. And not come back for a long time. You can book one-way awards on ANA using Virgin points for half the round trip price. That's useful if you only find availability one way or want to use another mileage program to fly the other direction, which is cool. Finding ANA award availability. can be especially challenging as the carrier doesn't open up much award space, particularly in the first class cabin. To be alerted, I don't know. These are all things that you have to pay for. Seats.aero is supposed to be really good, and then something called Point Me is supposed to be good, but you have to pay, and I don't want to pay. They prefer searching ANA awards on United, but what about to New Zealand? So weird. Comparing Virgin Atlantic award prices to other options. If you find award availability, you book ANA first class between the US and Japan for $220 to $242,000 United mileage plans. They devalued international partner first class, which makes the rate you'll pay through Virgin Atlantic Flying Club look even more appealing. Okay. Theoretically, you can also book the same award through Air Canada Aeroplan for 110,000 points. However, they yanked all ANA award space from its website. Okay, but remember, you'll pay no more than 85,000 Virgin points one way for the same award. This discount is even bigger. Booking through Virgin Atlantic provides almost a 50% discount to the United sticker price, costing just 60,000 each way. Okay. Why is this just focused mostly on ANA, though, to Japan? Look how much it would cost in money. $24,496. Oof. Yeah, the cost of an ANA first class is insane. $22,000 or more for the cheapest dates. That's crazy. Oh, Virgin Atlantic only allows you to book 331 days out. Okay. Fly Hawaiian Airlines. Fly business class on Air New Zealand. Okay, I think this is maybe what we want. What I want, because I want to go to New Zealand. Let me know if I've lost you guys yet. It's okay if I have. But I think this is cool, and this is what it actually takes to find one of these flights. Okay. Fly business class on Air New Zealand. Many people traveling on points and miles look for ways to enhance their travel experience. Since 15-hour flights can be torturous, finding access to a bed may make this one of the better award opportunities available when the space opens. If New Zealand is in your future, remember to look for Saver Space on Air New Zealand. It's a rare beast, but worth the trouble if you have time to plan and some flexibility. United is one of the easiest Star Alliance partners for searching and booking here. I found a nonstop from Houston to Auckland on United's site that cost 110,000 miles each way. Nonstop business class costs just 45,000 miles each way between the South Pacific and Los Angeles using Virgin Atlantic Flying Club. If you catch a 30% transfer bonus from a partner reward program, that's just 35,000 points each way. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to spend 35,000 points. That seems good. Nonstop business class is New Zealand in the South Pacific, you guys? The only murky point is the change in verbiage from New Zealand to South Pacific to Los Angeles. This differs from the previous Virgin Atlantic award chart for Air New Zealand, which had South Pacific and New Zealand listed separately. Presently, there are no nonstops between Los Angeles and other places in the South Pacific besides Auckland. Domestic New Zealand to Australia. Wait. Economy. Wait. I don't want economy. Business class mileage requirement. Isn't that 90,000? South Pacific to Los Angeles. The only murky point, hold on, we got to read this again. Nonstop business class starts at 45,000 miles each way between the South Pacific and Los Angeles using Virgin Atlantic Flying Club. The only murky point is the change in verbiage from New Zealand to South Pacific to Los Angeles. This differs from previous Virgin Atlantic award chart for Air New Zealand, which had South Pacific and New Zealand listed separately. Presently, there are no nonstops between Los Angeles and other places in the South Pacific besides Auckland. For more information, you can check out Virgin Atlantic's Air New Zealand Partner Award page. Okay. Let's do that. So we're going to click that because I don't know what they're seeing, but I don't see 45,000 listed there. Okay. You get 1% back with Rakuten, which is another thing that I like. I'm going to hide that for now, though. I do not have an Air New Zealand account or Virgin Atlantic. Okay. Air New Zealand flies from and within New Zealand, directly serving 47 cities and 16 blah, blah, blah. Earn and spend Virgin points. Flying with Air New Zealand contributes to your flying club status, so you can progress through tiers faster, unlocking more benefits. The number of tier points earned depends on the cabin, booking class, and distance you fly. Okay, but I don't need to earn tier points. Spend Virgin points. To spend Virgin points on Air New Zealand flights, get in touch with our flying club team who will be able to help you book your trip. Already booked and want to earn points? Help logging in, how to activate. Yeah, I guess it was helpful. Okay, let's see here. So do I first need to go? Let's go to book. And try LAX to New Zealand. Auckland, AKL. Let's do one way. When? I don't know. Let's try July. Is that high season? I have no idea. Search. So step one was to try and find the saver seats. We couldn't find any. What? Why doesn't this have the ability? I don't think I can search. Yeah. I'm not a member of this program yet, so I can't log in. Okay, let's try if I just go to Air New Zealand. Air New Zealand. So see, you have to have a lot of patience and kind of a lot of time to actually make this work. Hi, Pinky. Really late, you'll catch the replay. Happy Easter if you celebrate. Happy Plain Old Sunday if you don't. Happy last day of Passover if you are celebrating. Steve says, hi, Pinky, and Pinky is waving back. It's another holiday for some people. Maybe some people are celebrating both. Okay. All right, Air New Zealand. I'm going to share this tab instead. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Uh-oh. Excuse me. I'll roll off camera and get Kleenex. Okay. All right, we're gonna let yeah. Google Chrome. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. So Pinky, I'm finally looking at how to book awards flights. And so far, it's not easy. Okay, so I'm on Air New Zealand, which apparently partners with Virgin Atlantic. Ooh, it's their 85th birthday sale. USA to Auckland, round trip per person, or to any other New Zealand city for $50 more. All right, well, I am flying from Los Angeles. Round trip, premium economy, business premier. From June 2nd, advance purchase, 28 days for economy, 28 days for premium economy, and 28 days for business premier. minimum stay, 7-day economy. Why do you have to stay for so long? Los Angeles to Christchurch. Ooh, that looks pretty. Los Angeles to Queenstown. Okay, so 28 days from now. Is that why it's June 2nd? I don't know. Let's go to book now. We're going to go to just Auckland. Seems fine. The sale, whatever their sale ends May 5th. Los Angeles to Auckland. Let's try July 7th. Let's go 7th through the 13th. Let's do the 7th through the 14th. My dates are flexible. So let's see here to Auckland. Just one adult. Service. Oh, I don't know. Let's just try business and hit search. Okay, so it looks like the deal would be best on Monday. Oh. Wait, is this depart? Okay. The deal. Okay. Continue. Select your flight to Auckland. Duration. Economy Sky Couch. What is that? Okay. I know this is not very exciting, but okay. Arrives 5 a.m., 9:10 p.m., 6:50 p.m. on United Airlines. Nope. 10:10 p.m. or 9:10 p.m. Let's do 9:10 p.m. It says it's a deal. I wonder how much this is in points because we can't afford that not in points. You know what I'm saying? Okay, select your flight, your return flight. Premium check-in and priority boarding, more leg room. I need more booty room. This one's fine. Ooh, can hold the fare for $45. Okay, so I think now we would look at the other so now we're like, oh, here's where it's cheap. And we would find these flights and then we would go over to Virgin Atlantic to actually book it. I think that's how that would work. Now that we've found a flight where it says, I think these ones that say deal mean those are the Saver Awards. All right, and anyway, okay. So yeah, so that would be, so from here, now that I found a flight that's a deal, then I would go over to Virgin Atlantic and search for it with points. You know what, guys? Maybe I'm gonna leave this up for a second. I'm not gonna share this tab, and I'm gonna sign up for Virgin Atlantic, but I can't do that live because I feel like I probably already signed up with them. Email or flying club member. Let me see. Hang on one second. I feel like I've already done this. Hotmail. Let me look at my Hotmail. Okay. 1 second. My goodness. Sorry, guys. I'm looking to see if I'm already a member of Virgin, and if so, to like sign into my account. Yes, I am. Virgin Atlantic email verification. Okay, yep, I definitely am. So, tell me my flying club number? Yes, it does. Okay. Oh, I need glasses for this. This is too little. Okay. One. And then my password. Oh, I have no idea. Oh, it seems to know. Okay. I don't remember doing this, but okay. Fascinating. Okay. All right. Share this tab instead. Okay, well, who knew? I am a member already of Virgin, so that's good. Okay, Steve says that the Easter meal and gathering was Saturday. You just tilled the garden and dropped in a bit late. My base needs more comfortable space. Yes, 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 yes. That is exactly right. So yeah, the leg room. I'm short. I don't need leg room. You can sit me, I can be in the back seat of a car where behind the driver, and the driver's like the tallest person ever. Just put me right behind him. I got short little legs. I don't need leg space, but yeah, my base, my base needs more space. Okay. So we're gonna look for this same little search for rewards flights with my Virgin points. Wait, I'm logged in. Okay. So flying from LAX. Oh my God. AKL round trip. We did July 7th is what we put. July 7th, coming back July 14th. Search. Okay, come on, good deal. What? Okay. Okay. LAX to Auckland. Round trip. How about let's do one way? One way. How about, oops, no, not May 16th. When do we think most people travel? Like on a Friday? Oh no. Guys, no, that's gonna be a holiday weekend, so we're not doing that. Let's try Friday, July 11th. Search. Is it going? No. Search. Oh, it wants. We already entered that. Anyway, so this gives you guys, though, an idea about how tricky this is to actually try and find these flights. Search. Ooh, getting somewhere. Nope. Virgin Atlantic. Is this just the domestic one, maybe? No, because it wouldn't let me put it. Why won't this let me? Okay, let's try LAX to Auckland, search for rewards flights, and we'll see like the furthest out it lets me go. But it's just saying that there were no flights. So, like, why isn't it showing me other options? Okay, so March seems to be the furthest out I can go. So let's just do that. March 6th through like the 16th. Search. We couldn't find any results. Well, anyway, this gives you guys an idea about how tricky it is. All right, let's just see, because I've actually never been to London either. So let's try, explore worldwide flights. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I'm not on show price and points. from LAX to AKL. AKL. Maybe I was like on some domestic part. New Zealand. Sorry, now I'm just looking. This is how I would do it if I was actually doing it. Turks and Caicos, I want to go there. I want to go to all these places. Now I'm not seeing Manchester. London, Leeds. I'm not seeing any in New Zealand. Why is that? Well, let's do London Heathrow. Show price and points. Let's do business or upper class. Let's see if I could take a trip for my birthday this year. So July, let's do Monday, July 7th through Monday, July 14th. Done. Find flights. All right. I don't know if you guys find this interesting. I do. Because I was like, okay, I can't find New Zealand. Is this the price round trip? Oh, no. Los Angeles to London. Economy. Why is it 645,000 points? Plus $1,000? That's crazy. That's just crazy talk. So, guys, these are not what we would want. Not what we would want at all. Oh, no. 645,000 points? That honestly doesn't even... That doesn't seem right. All right. Well, anyway, you guys. So this is why finding rewards are tricky. All right, you guys. I'm going to head out because we're a little over an hour now. And yeah, so we didn't. Well, we almost did, Pinky. We almost did. But that doesn't sound right. 620,000 points. So that would not be a good deal. And I don't have, who has more than 500,000 points? And I think that's just one way. I don't even get that. So Pinky, you might have missed it. I booked a flight on Aer Lingus. I paid for an economy seat and then I upgraded. And I think it's a mistake because it was supposed to, what I read in their paperwork said it was supposed to cost 46,500 points to upgrade to business class. And they deducted the points, but me and the person I'm flying with, their seat got upgraded too. But they only took the 46,500 points. They didn't take double. If you're listening from Aer Lingus, please don't change my flight. All right, you guys. Happy Easter. Happy Sunday. Thanks so much for watching Shelly's Millions. Let me know in the chat if you've found any good deals using points for flying, or if you want to see me actually try and figure that out. And then Pinky, you might not have been in here. I am doing this new program called Fetch, and I like it because it's fetching you rewards. You get gift cards. And I like it because unlike Ibotta and Shopkick, I don't have to add anything first. You just take a picture of your receipt and it gives you the points afterwards. So it's really cool. And yeah, I'm going to look into why it's not awarding the points for Joy and Joey on Walmart and why it's not giving me my Instacart points. And I will report back with that next week. All right, you guys have a great rest of your week. Thanks so much for watching Shelly's Millions and check out the movie Sinners.